connection. Yes, the lawsuit that we have been covering and following, so much being revealed. You're not going to believe that somehow it is connected to Michael Jackson and his death.
Diddy and his list of offenses seem to be growing faster than we can even count them. Every week, there is a new lawsuit and more shocking news about his actions.
Before the break, I was telling you all we would be giving you the very latest information as it relates to P. Diddy. Right now, I want to give you a live look out in Times Square, a different New York shot, as we continue to talk about the very latest.
But the recent allegations against the rapper definitely take the cake. P. Diddy seems to be involved in every major controversy in Hollywood. Imagine if he was involved in the death of Michael Jackson. Sounds like a crazy conspiracy theory, right? Turns out, it's not too far from the truth. What has Diddy got to do with Michael's death? Let's find out now. The American conservative commentator and author Candace Owens always has the craziest ideas and opinions. Her news always makes you do a double take, which is exactly what we had to do when she revealed that Diddy might have a hand in Michael Jackson's death. As wild as that sounds, Candace's evidence is pretty convincing, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested to see how this conspiracy theory plays out.
That's the Diddy lawsuit is absolutely crazy. Full stop. What if I told you guys that it is about to get even crazier, that there is directly a link to Michael Jackson's death?
Candace talked about this wildly confusing new advancement in Diddy's lawsuit that left everyone shocked. In her latest podcast, Candace was very interested in Diddy's very colorful list of legal troubles. What makes it so interesting is that even though Diddy cannot seem to stay out of trouble for more than a couple of days, he never has to face any consequences, which might be why he decided to sacrifice a star as big as Michael Jackson. Owen says there is a deep connection between Diddy's legal woes and the mysterious circumstances surrounding Michael Jackson's passing that people do not seem to notice at first glance. She is also rightly confused like the rest of us. Michael Jackson had the whole world in his palm. He was arguably the biggest superstar this world has ever seen. Still, his sudden and mysterious death did not create the chaos it should have. Now the news of Diddy's alleged involvement in his death is being met with the same kind of silence. Owen even called the media complicit in his untimely demise. This case is arguably bigger than the Jeffrey Epstein case, and yet the media is still silent on it? Why? Terrifying to consider, but Hollywood and our politicians are being blackmailed into compliance. Candace had some serious claims to make against the music executive. Hollywood is known as a den for sex offenders and criminals. Rumors have it that unbelievable and cruel crimes against children happen in places like the Virgin Islands, yet nobody ever gets caught. The elites have a strong backing in politics and security forces, and they get to have a free hand in whatever crimes they want to commit. People like Diddy are alleged to be these elites that Candace is talking about. If you are confused about the Virgin Islands and how powerful these celebrities and high-profile people that go there are, just remember that Bitcoin millionaire who claimed that the CIA was running a blackmailing ring in the Virgin Island died just after in a shocking manner. He was fully clothed and drowned mysteriously right after making the revelation. The way the media seems to ignore any such news also makes you shudder at the amount of power these people hold. Candace thinks that Diddy is one of the key figures involved in these scandals, considering how he loves to host such controversial parties even at his residences. From being accused of running trafficking rings, to allegations of forcing himself on employees and women, to even domestic violence allegations, this man seems to come out unscratched from every possible allegation. It looks like he has complete impunity for his actions, which would make sense in just one case. Diddy is not the only one involved in these criminal acts. Other influential figures are too, which gives him the means to blackmail these celebrities, politicians, and even the media into silence. Diddy is also not the only one who enjoys such freedom from consequences. As it turns out, everyone close to him enjoys the same privileges. Do you remember that time when Diddy and his son shot someone inside a recording studio? Remember how the LAPD and the media worked together to cover it up and basically remove any trace of this incident from the public eye? The main guy behind this cover-up was now the head of security for Diddy, named Fahim Muhammad. If there's any man to be feared in the industry, that is him. It looks like everyone around Diddy has the impunity to do whatever they want. In case they do end up in trouble, all they have to do is call Fahim. This man is what they call a magician at hiding people's crimes. Be it a hit and run or a murder case, Fahim is known to completely bury cases due to his connections with law enforcement.
Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad, that is Fahim Muhammad, if they are ever pulled over by the police in Miami or California.
So, what has any of this got to do with Michael Jackson's alleged murder, and how is Diddy involved in it? It turns out the main guy behind all of Diddy's cover-ups also happened to be the one around Michael at the time of his death. Fahim Muhammad was the head of security for Michael Jackson at the time he died. In fact, he was the second person in the room after Michael's doctor. The only news released to the media was that the doctor tried to do CPR on Michael when Fahim arrived, and later his children appeared. That is all. What happened in between is still a mystery. Fahim tells a different version of this story. Paris was on the ground balled up crying, and Prince, he was just standing there. He had a real shocked, just slowly crying look on his face. According to Fahim, he only arrived long after Michael was already dead. He got to the children and immediately removed them from the side of their father's dead body. But isn't that rather suspicious? Why is the security chief not present at such a critical moment when Michael Jackson is in a life and death situation? Apparently, no one dug deep enough into this until now to find out why. Other witnesses claimed that it was actually the doctor who had attempted to cover up the proof of Michael Jackson's drug overdose. But if the doctor were present right there, it would make no sense for the global star to have overdosed in the first place. Even if this was in fact a murder, the right person to cover it up very conveniently happened to be right there at the crime scene. Candace also seems taken aback by this crucial piece of news. She even refused to report any longer on this matter because Fahim is not the guy to be reckoned with. This is also the case with the media. The media must have known that Michael Jackson's death was far from natural, yet they refused to speak about the possibility that it could be a murder until recently. After all, Candace says murder might not be so difficult for people like Fahim and Diddy, especially when it comes to protecting their names. This ring will murder people to protect itself. But what exactly could be the motive behind killing a star as big as Michael Jackson? Michael was basically a money-making machine for the people around him. Why would anyone from his own team try to murder him? Well, it might be because Michael knew a thing or two about the infamous trafficking rings in Hollywood, rings that people like Diddy run. Michael Jackson was accused of taking advantage of young boys, but the case was dropped and he was never charged. Could it be that Michael had more intimate knowledge of the workings of this place, which made him a liability? If he had decided to reveal the truth about the industry and the shockingly sinister acts that occur in secluded places like the Virgin Islands, the whole industry would have blown up. It would announce to the whole world the extent of the crimes of the industry elites. Of course, these people wanted to silence Michael Jackson before he could say a word. Candace also thinks that the whole industry is ruled by some immensely powerful people who happen to be Jewish. These people enjoy complete anonymity and impunity for their crimes, and they simply cover up whatever they do. All they need are loyal people like Fahim Muhammad, who is skilled enough to completely evaporate in any case. Owens talked about these people openly in her podcast and said, "What if that is what is happening right now in Hollywood? If there is just a very small ring of specific people who are using the fact that they are Jewish to shield themselves from any criticism?" According to the commentator, Diddy and Michael Jackson's case has once again made this disparity very clear. Elites like Diddy are openly involved in horrific crimes, but they are easily able to get away with them without any consequences. Candace talked about how Kanye had tried to warn people about this group of evil elites, but the public was not ready to accept this open fact. Kanye was openly threatened by this group of elites for the same reason that they eliminated Michael Jackson. Just like Jackson, Kanye is not afraid to speak the truth. This makes him a liability, and he is ready to reveal all the dirty secrets of the high-profile names in the industry. These people threatened to end Kanye's career and make him appear insane in front of the public so that nobody would believe anything he said. And even when Kanye did share that he was speaking about specific people in Hollywood that he believed were coming after him and were trying to control him, he actually named some of those individuals. He shared personal text messages of a friend of his, a personal trainer to the stars, who, again, happens to be Jewish, was threatening to put him in the hospital and to drug him against his will. Candace also talked about Kanye and the shocking secrets he had revealed about the industry, and lo and behold, these same people started threatening and intimidating Candace as well. She revealed that she was being forced to speak against Kanye. These people also happen to be the same people whom Michael Jackson had always known would try to harm and even murder him. When that Kanye situation went down, I was being threatened by a person named Rabbi Shmuley, a person that Michael Jackson put on his enemy list. A person that I had never heard of was threatening me and saying that unless I came out and said things explicitly against Kanye, he would effectively ruin my life. Just a few years ago, Diddy was using songs by Michael Jackson to win back past girlfriends. Today, he might be the one who took away the biggest star this world has ever seen, and that too with a person once closest to Michael Jackson. Diddy appears to have taken help from Michael's past security chief to eliminate him before he could reveal any of Diddy's sinister activities to the public. Fahim, who was once Michael's head of security, is now Diddy's. Diddy is a renounced gangster himself. His keeping Fahim as his head of security cannot be a pure coincidence. Fahim is known as the magician who can disappear people and crimes as if they never existed. That's it from my side for today, folks. Press the bell icon and like this video down below. See you very soon with equally wild insider news. Until then, take care